Welcome to Maggie's Astrology. Now we are in Gemini season, and June 2026 is a month of movement, relationships, and mental shifts. So I will talk about the month of June, and I have also horoscopes for all signs, and I have timestamps, so you can jump directly to the part you want to listen to. And I know some of you can be a bit confused when you see this video, because this is my English version as it sits in the top of the corner. And it's because I also have another podcast called Podden in Swedish. I have a Swedish channel, but this is my English channel that I call Maggie's Astrology. But I share it on Podden as well. So if you want to listen to this in Swedish, see the playlist on Podden instead. And my name is Maggie. So welcome here to this forecast for June. And Astrology for Wellness is understanding what energies are coming next. And watch for your sun, moon, and rising sign for the most accurate guidance. And they used to say that if you start with the rising sign, you have the aspect part, when the planets are moving more. But if you listen to your sun, you have your core identity. So if you know your rising sign and you watch for both, you can really combine it as well. And the moon sign, it's for the emotion. So it could be much to hear all the signs, but if you even know where you have Venus in your chart, you have for the love. So use the timestamps to jump directly to your zodiac signs. So as I said before, if you'd like to hear this in Swedish instead, look for your specific zodiac sign there. Check out June 2026 playlist on my podcast in Swedish, Podden. Thank you for being here and for sharing this journey with me. And as always, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. And please see the disclaimer in the end of this video. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I would like to, if you could, subscribe to both channels if you want. Maggie's Astrology and Podden. I would be happy if you like and share. So if there is anything you want to know about me or want a newsletter or something, you can find things on my website at maggiesmind.se. What June brings. In this video, I will talk about the month of June and what its main themes are. Here are the topics I will cover. I will talk about June's energies. The full moon in Sagittarius is on the 31st of May. And I talked about it the last month, but the effect is beginning even in June. So it will spill over in June, you can say. Venus makes a wonderful conjunction with Jupiter in Cancer. New moon in Gemini, 4th of June, is a supermoon as well as before, as it was in Taurus. So it's a fantastic new moon for communication. And I will talk about the Gemini energy, the Cancer energy from mid-May onwards, the full moon in Capricorn on 29th June, and the Mercury Retrograde. It goes retrograde 29th of June. In the middle of June, you can feel when Mercury goes in its shadow. But the full retrograde is 29th of June. And I will also talk about important dates and decisions and zodiac sign forecast. And the zodiac forecast will be addressing much to the moons and Mercury retrograde and the Venus conjunction, of course. June, a month of movement, relationships, and mental shifts. June brings a clear shift in energy from the grounding and stability into movement, curiosity, communication, and mental activity. Instead of the slower influence of the outer planets, this month is shaped more by the personal planets and a more fast-moving transit, making June feel more eventful, emotional, and social driven. The month begins with the sun in Gemini, highlighting communications, learning, curiosity, networking, and social connection. The overall atmosphere becomes lighter, faster, and mentally active. Personal planets take the lead. This month, the personal planets drive the pace forward. Venus strongly influences relationships, values, pleasure, and finances. It shows where we seek harmony, connection, and emotional fulfillment. The moon brings rapid emotional shifts, making June feel like more reactive, fluid, and emotionally responsive. Together, they create a month where emotions, relationships, and priorities may change very quickly, but also where important insights arrive through these changes. Mercury shadow phase and retrograde towards the end of June. Mercury begins entering in shadow phase, I would say in middle of June instead. And so they gradually affecting communication, planning, and decision making because Mercury rules Gemini and rules communication house 3. And in the upcoming horoscopes for each zodiac sign, the focus will be on which life areas are activated by these fast-moving transits, especially the Sun in Gemini, Venus, the Moon, and Mercury's movement later in the month. So it's a powerful time to take action. The period leading up to June 12 is one of the strongest windows of the year for the action and forward movement. Nearly all planets are moving directly, making it easier to make decisions, launch projects, and create momentum with fewer delays. This is an excellent time to start new projects or launches, make important decisions, sign agreements or commitments, organize complex plans, build foundation for the future. Think of this period as a weaving the net for what will continue growing later this year. And June 8 to 11, Venus conjuncts Jupiter. So they will meet in Cancer. So with June 9 as the peak day. This one is the most of the supportive and the fortunate energies of the month, bringing themes of love and emotional connection, financial flow and opportunities, creativity and inspiration, warmth, generosity and security. This energy tends to open doors naturally, often through the right people, conversation, or timing. But after June the 13th and onward, the energy will shift. The focus moves away from pushing forward and more toward adapting and responding. Plans may change more often, communication can become less predictable, and progress may slow down slightly. And this is because of Mercury retrograde. I will address May 31, and you can think of it as June the 1st instead. We have this blue moon, full moon in Sagittarius. And this full moon sets the tone for the early June, highlighting truth, direction, expansion, and perspective. It may bring clarity about what truly aligns with your path. The 14th of June, the new moon is in Gemini. It's a fresh start around communication, learning, ideas, networking, and conversations. New information and connection can open important doors. On June 29, we have this full moon in Capricorn. This full moon brings a more serious and result-oriented energy. It's the energy of the Capricorn, who is ruled by Saturn. And themes around responsibility, structure, career, and long-term goals come into focus. The influence of the Mercury retrograde. As Mercury moves into its shadow in the middle of June and retrograde phase, communication and planning require extra attention. This can bring misunderstanding or delays, technological or travel issues, changing plans or revised decisions, and the need to double-check details. It doesn't mean you should stop moving forward, only that flexibility and patience become more important. And the retrograde is this time in Cancer. Cancer is very emotional, with all this feeling with Venus. This retrograde can be really, really emotional, but also a touch of softness, you can say. And the node will shift. A new collective direction is on its way, and you start to feel it now. In July, the lunar node shifts signs, and the energy is already beginning to be felt. And I will talk more about this next month, but I address it now because you may start to feeling it already. For the north node moves into Aquarius and the south node into Leo. It's shifting the collective focus toward innovation and future thinking, community and collaboration, authentic self-expression, finding your unique role within something larger. This marks the beginning of a new collective chapter, centered around vision, individuality, and shared evolution. As we have had the nodes in Pisces and Virgo for 1.5 years, and now you can say, and that is the water and the earth signs, so it's grounding more and emotional. And when these nodes are in Aquarius, is an air sign, and Leo is a fire sign, so it's a whole other energy. It's air and fire. It's more rapid energy. So we are in Gemini season. We have already entered it in June. And Gemini, the sun shines on you. So happy birthday to all Geminis who's listening on this now. And this season the Gemini season brings curiosity, connection, and a strong desire to explore. After the grounding energy of Taurus season, life begins moving again. The focus shifts from stability and security to experience, ideas, conversation, and possibilities. Gemini awakens the mind. It encourages movement, learning, social interaction, and discovering new perspectives. Life feels lighter, faster, and more alive. This is a time when thoughts multiply quickly and curiosity grows stronger. The question changes from what can I maintain to what can I learn, explore, share, or connect with. And new information arrives fast. Conversations can open doors, unexpected encounters may spark inspiration. At the same time, too much and Gemini energy could create distraction and scattered focus. The challenge is staying connecting to what truly matters while remaining open to growth and new experience. And Gemini is an air sign and rules house 3, that rules over communication, learning, mind, neighbors, associate more with meeting more neighbors, siblings, and things like that. And the ruling planet is Mercurius, the planet for communication. In mid-month, the energy changes as we enter Cancer season. It shifts to focus on home and family. The Cancer rule house 4, and it's ruled by the moon, so there is more a sentimental touch and focus on home environment. I will talk more about this next month. And the new moon in Gemini on June the 14th, new moon brings fresh beginnings. And this one centers around communications, social life, learning, movement, and new ideas. Gemini rules conversation, networking, neighbors, sibling, transportation, and everyday interactions. This is a great time to think about what positive change you want create in these areas and begin taking small steps toward them. June 29, we have the full moon in Capricorn. This full moon brings themes of achievement, completion, and recognition into focus. Capricorn rules career, ambitions, responsibility, discipline, long-term goals, and public life. Something you worked hard on may finally come together now. Recognitions or new opportunities could arrive through persistence and effort. This is also a time to reflect on how you use your energy towards success and what may still be blocking your long-term goals. In short, and before June 12, best time to act and initiate. June 1st, powerful full moon. 8 to 11th of June, especially fortunate energy. June 9th, peak. 14th of June, the new moon in Gemini brings fresh start. 19th June, we have Chiron, the wounded healer, enters Taurus. After 13th of June, more adjustments and flexibility is needed. And the 29th of June, it's an important date because we have the full moon in Capricorn, which brings result and completion. But also Mercury goes in its retrograde at full then. And if you think about all the planets I talk about in the houses and everything, and you think, where are they in my chart? You may consider that you would like a personal chart. And as a certified astrologer, I'm offering an entry price for the moment. And it's SEG 4095. So around €50 instead of 1995.6. So if you would like this, see my booking site at Calendar, and then we can meet by Zoom, and write in the description that you want this in English in that case. Or you can have an audio file and PDF on Buy Me a Coffee Vännäspodden, right in the description as well, if you want it in English. And I will leave links in the description in the show notes. And I also offer tarot readings if you're interested in that. So if you want to see more about that, you can see in the show notes or at maggiesmind.se. Aries, Sun in Gemini, House 3, communication, movement, and career growth. Gemini season activating your third house and speeds everything up mentally for you now. Conversation, networking, learning, and daily movement increase rapidly through June. This is a powerful time for communication and important conversations, writing, teaching, and sharing ideas, networking and collaboration, short trips, and fast-moving opportunities. Your curiosity is strong now, but the challenge is avoiding scattered focus. The more intentional you are with your energy, the more momentum you create moving forward. The month begins with Sagittarius full moon, activating your 9th house of expansion, travel, learning, and future vision. A realization may help you see the bigger picture more clearly. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer brings warmth and healing into your home and family life. Emotional support, stability, or improvements connected to your living situation may arrive naturally. Toward the end of the month, Mercury Retrograde may reopen conversations around family, home, or emotional matters that still need clarity and patience. The Gemini new moon creates fresh energy around communications, learning, and new ideas, while the Capricorn full moon highlights career, disability, and long-term direction. The key theme this month is new conversations create new possibilities. Taurus, the Sun in Gemini affects house 2 for you. So Taurus, money, stability, and new priorities. The Gemini season activates your 2nd house of money, values, and self-worth. Your focus shifts toward finances, priorities, and building greater and flexibility around resources. This is a strong period for new income ideas, business and communications opportunities, sales, writing, or networking, reassessing your priorities and values. You may feel drawn to diversify rather than to rely on one path only alone. Conversations around money and self-worth becomes important now. The month begins with a full moon activating your 8th house, bringing focus to shared finances, emotional bonds, intimacy, and deeper transformation. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer that support communication, learning, and networking. Positive conversations or opportunities through your local environment could open important doors. Mercury retrograde later in the month asks you to slow down around contracts, communication, and important details. Double-check plans before making final decisions. The Gemini new moon brings a fresh financial beginning, while the Capricorn full moon highlights career goals, visibility, and long-term directions. The key themes here are smart decisions now create future stability. Gemini, the Sun is in house 1, so Gemini, this is your time now. Reinvention, visibility, and personal growth activating your 1st house. So happy birthday to all Gemini. The Sun is on you now. So this is your season. Gemini energy activates your identity, visibility, confidence, and personal direction. After a quieter period, you may feel more energized, expressive, and ready to move forward again. This is a powerful time for personal reinvention, visibility, and self-expression, social opportunities, and networking. Exploring new ideas and directions. Your energy increases quickly now, but balance is key. You do not need to do everything at once. The month begins with Sagittarius, full moon activating your relationship sector. Important clarity, endings, or breakthroughs may unfold within close partnerships. Venus conjunct Jupiter support finances, self-worth, and emotional security. New opportunities around money or personal value could emerge naturally. Mercury retrograde later in June asks you to reassess financial priorities and avoid impulsive decisions. The Gemini new moon marks a personal reset and a strong new beginning for you. By the end of the month, the Capricorn full moon brings deeper emotional and financial themes into focus. The key theme this month is a new version of you is emerging. Cancer, Sun in Gemini is in your 12th house. So Cancer, healing, reflection, and a new personal chapter for Gemini season activating your 12th house and your inner world and emotional processing. While life moves quickly around you, you may feel called to slow down and reconnect with yourself privately. This is a time for rest and emotional healing, intuition and reflection, releasing old emotional patterns, creating more mental space. The quieter moments hold important answer now. The quieter moment hold important answers now. The Sagittarius full moon highlights work, routines, and health. You may recognize where your daily life needs more balance and sustainability. Venus conjunct Jupiter in Cancer, in your sign, is one of the most important energy of the month for you. It brings expansion, confidence, attraction, and emotional renewal. Mercury retrograde later in June may bring the old thoughts, decisions, or identity questions back for reflections, because Mercury is retrograde in your sign, Cancer. So it will affect you really strong here. The Gemini new moon supports healing and closure behind the scenes, while the Capricorn full moon highlights relationships and important emotional decisions. The key theme here is inner healing creates outer transformations. Leo, the sun in Gemini affects your house 11. So Leo, social expansion, creativity, inner healing. Gemini season activating your 11th house and energize your friendships, so social circles, collaborations, and the future goals. This is one of the most socially active periods of the year for you. Focus grows around networking and collaboration, community and teamwork, future plan and big visions, expanding your audience or influence. The right conversations now could shape your future in a meaningful way. The Sagittarius full moon activates creativity, romance, joy, and self-expression. Something may reach clarity around what truly inspires you. Venus conjunct Jupiter brings emotional healing and intuitive growth behind the scenes. Quiet reflections becomes deeply restorative. Mercury retrograde later in June encouraged deeper emotional processing and closure before moving fully forward. The Gemini new moon opens up new opportunities through friendship and collaborations, while the Capricorn full moon highlights work-life balance, health, and routines. The key theme this month is the right connections and expand your future. Virgo, the sun in Gemini affects house 10 for you. So Virgo, career, movement, and future opportunities. The Gemini season activating your 10th house of career. So it activates career, visibility, leadership, and professional growth. Your voice carries extra influence now, making this a powerful period for career advancement, launching projects, interviews and networking, professional communication. Flexibility becomes one of your biggest strengths this month. And the Sagittarius full moon highlights home, family, and emotional foundations. You may recognize what needs to change in order to feel more supported internally. Venus conjunct Jupiter supports friendship, collaboration, and future goals. Opportunities may arrive through your network and community. Mercury retrograde later in June may reconnect with your old projects, contacts, or long-term goals that need reassessment. The Gemini new moon recreates a strong professional reset, with the Capricorn full moon brings clarity around creativity, love, authenticity, and self-expression. The key theme this month is your visibility is growing for a reason. Libra, the sun in Gemini affects your house 9. So Libra, expansion, learning, new perspectives, and activating your 9th house. So Gemini season expands your mind, curiosity, and desire for new experience. This is a strong period for travel and exploration, studying and learning, teaching or sharing knowledge, discovering new perspective. You are meant to grow beyond old limitations now. The Sagittarius full moon activates communication, learning, and important conversations. New information may completely shift your perspective. Venus conjunct Jupiter supports career growth and public recognitions. Opportunities may arrive through visibility, networking, or leadership. Mercury retrograde later in June asks you to reconsider professional goals, communication, or long-term directions. The Gemini new moon opens a fresh chapter around travel, learning, and personal expansion, while the Capricorn full moon brings focus back toward home and emotional stability. The key theme this month is new perspective change your future. Scorpio, the sun in Gemini affects your house 8. Scorpio, transformation, trust, and emotional depth. Gemini season activating your 8th house. Deep emotional, financial, and psychological themes. Focus increases around intimacy and trust, shared finances and resources, emotional transformation, releasing old patterns. Powerful insights may shift your understanding of relationship and emotional security. The Sagittarius full moon highlights money, self-worth, and personal resources. Financial clarity may arrive now. Venus conjunct Jupiter expand your perspectives through travel, learning, spirituality, or meaningful new experience. Mercury retrograde later in June may bring old plans, beliefs, or educational goals back to reassessment. The Gemini new moon begins a deeper emotional transformation, while the Capricorn full moon highlights communication and important conversations. The key theme this month is transformation begins with emotional honesty. Sagittarius, the sun in Gemini lights up the house 7. So relationship, identity, and new direction. Gemini season activating your 7th house. So relationship become the main focus this month. Gemini season activates partnership, communication, and emotional dynamics. This is a time for honest conversation, relationship growth and healing, important meetings and collaboration. Balancing freedom with emotional closeness. Communication shapes everything now. The full moon in Sagittarius, it's your full moon, activates your identity and personal directions. You may feel called toward greater authenticity and personal freedom. Venus and Mercury deepen emotional conversations around intimacy, trust, and vulnerability. Mercury retrograde later in June encourages reflections around emotional patterns, shared resources, or unresolved relationship dynamics. The Gemini new moon creates a fresh beginning with partnerships, while the Capricorn full moon highlights finances, stability, and self-worth. Key themes this month is relationships mirror your evolution. Capricorn, the sun in Gemini lights up house 6 for you. Work, wellness, relationship changes. Gemini season activating your 6th house for routines, work life, health, and daily responsibilities. Life may feel busier and more demanding than usual. This is a strong period for improving routines and systems, organizing work and priorities, learning practical skills, creating healthier balance. Efficiency matters more than perfections now. Sagittarius full moon activates closure, rest, and emotional release. You may recognize what needs to be left behind. Venus conjunct Jupiter supports relationships and emotional healing with partnerships. Mercury retrograde later in June may reopen conversations, contracts, or relationships dynamics that need reassessment. The Gemini new moon supports healthier habits and better routines, while the Capricorn full moon brings personal clarity or more new sense of directions. The key themes this month is small changes create lasting results. Aquarius, the sun in Gemini, lights up house 5 for you. Creativity, joy, and emotional reset. So the Gemini season activating your 5th house awakens creativity, romance, self-expression, and joy. This is a lighter and more inspiring energy that encourages you to reconnect with pleasure and creativity. Focus grows around creative projects, romance and dating, storytelling and self-expression, following inspiration for me more freely. Your inner child wants space to play again. The Sagittarius full moon highlights friendship, social circles, and future goals. Clarity may arrive around who truly aligns with your vision. Venus conjunct Jupiter supports work, health, and daily life improvements. Mercury retrograde later in June asks you to slow down around routines, responsibilities, and stress management. The Gemini new moon sparks fresh creative inspiration, while the Capricorn full moon brings emotional closure and a deep inner reflection. The key theme this month is joy becomes part of your healing. Pisces, Sun in Gemini is in your 4th house. So Pisces, home, emotional growth, and fresh foundations. Gemini season activating your 4th house. So shift focus toward home, emotional security, and your private life. This is a time for family conversation, emotional healing, changes around home or living situations, reconnecting with your inner foundations. Creating emotional stability becomes essential now. The Sagittarius full moon highlights friendship, goals, and your future directions. You may gain clarity around who truly supports your growth. Venus conjuncts Jupiter brings warm, creative, romance, and emotional inspiration into your life. Mercury retrograde later in June may reconnect with your old creative ideas or relationships dynamics that still need reflections. The Gemini new moon creates a fresh beginning around home and emotional security, while the full moon in Capricorn highlights friendship, collaboration, and the future plans. The key theme this month is your inner foundation shapes your future. And here is the disclaimer. Astrology is intended for inspiration, reflection, and personal insight only. This information shared in this video should not be taken as a professional, medical, legal, or finance advice. Always trust your own judgment and take responsibility for your choices. So if you like this, please like and share. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel so more can find it and it can grow. And if you like Even Wellness Pod and my Swedish podcast, I'd be more than happy if you would subscribe to that channel as well. Until next time, stay safe and well.